Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari.
And now chapter 27. Attack by Candavega on the city of King Puranjana. The character of Kala Kanya.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
The great sage Narad continued, My dear king, after bewildering her husband in different ways and bringing him under her control, the wife of King Puranjana gave him all satisfaction and enjoyed sex life with him. The queen took her bath and dressed herself nicely with all auspicious garments and ornaments. After taking food and becoming completely satisfied, she returned to the king. Upon seeing her beautifully decorated, attractive face, the king welcomed her with all devotion. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king also responded by embracing her shoulders. In this way, in a solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus King Puranjana became very much captivated by his beautiful wife, and deviated from his good sense. He forgot that the passing of days and nights meant that his span of life was being reduced without profit. In this way, increasingly overwhelmed by illusion, King Puranjana, although advanced in consciousness, remained always lying down with his head on the pillow of his wife's arms. In this way, he considered woman to be his ultimate life and soul. Becoming thus overwhelmed by the mode of ignorance, he could not understand the meaning of self-realization, of his self, or of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear King Prachinabhadashat, in this way King Puranjana, with his heart full of lust and sinful reactions, began to enjoy sex with his wife, and in this way his new life and youth expired in half a moment. O one whose lifespan is great, in this way King Puranjana begot 1,100 sons within the womb of his wife Puranjani. However, in this business he passed away half of his lifespan. O Prajapati, King Prachinabhadashat, in this way King Puranjana also begot 110 daughters. All of these were equally glorified like the father and mother. Their behavior was gentle, and they possessed magnanimity and other good qualities. After this, King Puranjana, king of the Panchala country, in order to increase the descendants of his paternal family, married his sons with qualified wives, and married his daughters with qualified husbands. Of these many sons, each produced hundreds and hundreds of grandsons. In this way, the whole city of Panchala became overcrowded by these sons and grandsons of King Puranjana. These sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Puranjana's riches, including his home, treasury, servants, secretaries, and all other paraphernalia. Puranjana's attachment for these things was very deep-rooted. My dear King Prachinabhadashat, like you, King Puranjana also became implicated in so many desires. Thus he worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Thus King Puranjana, being attached to fruitive activities, or karma kandya, as well as kith and kin, and being obsessed with polluted consciousness, eventually arrived at that point not very much liked by those who are overly attached to material things. O king, in Gandharvaloka there is a king named Candavega. Under him there are 360 very powerful Gandharva soldiers. These soldiers represent the days of the year. Along with Candavega were as many female Gandharvis as there were soldiers, and all of them repetitively plundered all the paraphernalia for sense enjoyment. The females represent the nights of the year, and the plundering is the wasting of life in sense gratification. When King Gandharva Raj, or Candavega, and his followers began to plunder the city of Puranjana, a snake with 5 hoods began to defend the city. The 5 hoods represent the 5 kinds of air or energies. The 5-hooded serpent, the superintendent and protector of the city of King Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720, that is, 360 days plus 360 nights. Because he had to fight alone with so many soldiers, all of whom were great warriors, the serpent with 5 hoods became very weak. Seeing that his most intimate friend was weakening, King Puranjana and his friends and citizens living within the city all became very anxious. King Puranjana collected taxes in the city known as Panchala, and thus was able to engage in sexual indulgence. Being completely under the control of women, he could not understand that his life was passing away, and that he was reaching the point of death. My dear King Prachina Bodhisat, at this time the daughter of formidable Time was seeking her husband throughout the 3 worlds. Although no one agreed to accept her, she came. The daughter of Time, or Jara, was very unfortunate. Consequently, she was known as Durbhaga, ill-fated. However, she was once pleased with a great king, and because the king accepted her, she granted him a great benediction. When I once came to this earth from Brahmaloka, the highest planetary system, the daughter of Time, wandering over the universe, met me. Knowing me to be an avowed brahmachari, she became lusty and proposed that I accept her. When I refused to accept her request, she became very angry at me and cursed me severely. Because I refused her request, she said that I would not be able to stay in one place for a long time. After she was thus disappointed by me, with my permission she approached the king of the Yavanas, whose name was Bhaya, or Fear, and she accepted him as her husband. Approaching the king of the Yavanas, Kalakanya addressed him as a great hero, saying, "My dear sir, you are the best of the untouchables. I am in love with you, and I want you as my husband. I know that no one is baffled if he makes friends with you. One who does not give charity according to the customs or injunctions of the scriptures, and one who does not accept charity in that way, are considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Such persons follow the path of the foolish. Surely they must lament at the end. O gentle one, I am now present before you to serve you. Please accept me, and thus show me mercy. It is a gentleman's greatest duty to be compassionate upon a person who is distressed." After hearing the statement of Kalakanya, daughter of Time, The king of the Yavanas began to smile and devise a means for executing his confidential duty on behalf of Providence. He then addressed Kalakanya as follows. After much consideration, I have arrived at a husband for you. Actually, as far as everyone is concerned, you are inauspicious and mischievous. Since no one likes you, how can anyone accept you as his wife? This world is a product of fruitive activities. Therefore, you may imperceptibly attack people in general. Helped by my soldiers, you can kill them without opposition. Here is my brother, Prajvada. I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you, as well as my dangerous soldiers, to act imperceptibly within this world. Thus ends the 27th chapter of the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Attack by Candavega on the City of King Puranjana, the character of Kalakanya.
Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari.
And now chapter 27, Attack by Candavega. The great sage Narad continued, My dear king, after bewildering her husband in different ways and bringing him under her control, the wife of King Puranjana gave him all satisfaction and enjoyed sex life with him. The queen took her bath and dressed herself nicely with all auspicious garments and ornaments. After taking food and becoming completely satisfied, she on the city of King Puranjana, the character of Kalakanya.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Returned to the king. Upon seeing her beautifully decorated, attractive face, the king welcomed her with all devotion. Queen Puranjani embraced the king, and the king also responded by embracing her shoulders. In this way, in a solitary place, they enjoyed joking words. Thus King Puranjana became